Wow, what a beautiful snowy day. It's the perfect weather outside to bust out a certain winter classic. Not that. There we go. The perfect Wii game to commemorate the holly jolly holiday spirit of Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, January 9th. Has anyone else ever imagined how fun it would be to go skiing? Well, keep dreaming. I've only been skiing once in my life, and I was too young at the time to appreciate just how unique the experience was. The cold of the mountain, the danger, the ungodly amount of equipment involved, the logistical nightmare of acquiring said equipment, falling face first into the snow for 2 hours straight. Can you guess what 10-year-old Spellslinger thought of this whole thing? I'll give you a hint. Pokemon Dash. Having to rent all that equipment in addition to actually having to learn how to use it without killing yourself on the mountain, it all made skiing just too much of a hassle for me. But I can understand the appeal of it. There's really no other feeling like racing down the side of a snowy mountain with nothing but a plank or two under your legs and maybe some sticks in your hands too. Minus the snowy mountain part. We Ski is a family-friendly sports simulation game released for Wii in 2008, and its goal was to bring the fun of winter sports directly into your home. In Europe and Japan, it's known as Family Ski, which means we're discriminating. I played We Ski to death as a kid, as well as its sequel, We Ski and Snowboard, but we'll talk about the superior younger sibling later. It isn't hard to see why though. All the thrills of skiing without the hassle of procuring equipment or getting injured or even going outside. This is a perfect game for a gamer like me. But how well does We Ski hold up? After all, it did come out almost 15 years ago. Does it still provide a fun simulation of the winter pastime? Well, it sure looks like it does. We Ski feels like a relic of the past, and I mean that in the best way possible. It reminds me a lot of the Wii series of games published by Nintendo. You know, Wii Sports, Wii Play, and the others. That franchise strived for and excelled at providing a direct, easily digestible experience that was fun and charming for anybody who picked up the controller. While We Ski isn't actually a part of that franchise, it has all the same goals, and I would say that it also accomplished all the same things as well. It's pretty clear that the developers of We Ski look towards Nintendo's immensely successful franchise for inspiration though. Bamco Nandai? Nandai Bamco? Bandai Namco? Namco Bandai! Namco Bandai basically took the Miis and injected them with personality and anime, resulting in We Ski's character creation mode, and you know, it's actually pretty damn good. There are so many different styles and types of gear you can choose from. Some of it can be unlocked, but you have more than enough gear available from the start to customize to your heart's content. All kinds of helmets, goggles, gloves, jackets. You can even choose to have straight or curved skis or stocks. You can also choose from tons of facial profiles, heights, weights, and age groups. According to We Ski, if you're not between the age of teenager and parent, you don't exist. Wait. Ah! We Ski's character creation manages to straddle that fine line between the simplistic customization of Miis and the complex customization of other games like MMOs, while boasting enough of its own charm to make the process worthwhile. You do have the option to use your Miis in this game, but in my opinion, We Ski's custom characters just fit the game's aesthetic better. I created this happy older fellow, aptly named, who's had a lot of time to go skiing ever since he became widowed. Speaking of loneliness, let's talk about Nintendo's Fun Stick. As revolutionary as this 14cm war crime was, motion controls on the Wii were always hit or miss. Sometimes they fit seamlessly into a game, sometimes they felt shoehorned in, and sometimes the idea was there, but the remote would just refuse to cooperate. For a game like We Ski, it's imperative, no, mandatory, that the motion controls work as smoothly as possible. Otherwise, its main appeal would be completely ruined. Fortunately, We Ski controls fine. The Wiimote and Nunchuck are a suitable stand-in for actual ski stocks, and the basic motions for movement and turning are responsive enough that the game never feels like it's trying to fight back against you. It's definitely not perfect though. The game occasionally has trouble detecting the crouching motion, and flailing the Wii Remote and Nunchuck too much while you're trying to climb a hill can cause your character to overshoot your intended destination. Also, some of the more difficult air tricks require way too many inputs to remember, let alone perform, so when I go airborne I usually just opt for spamming the easy tricks instead. Still, We Ski's controls usually don't get in the way, which is all that it really needed to be a passable game. It also has an excellent school mode that teaches you everything you need to know, from tricks to landing to navigating minefields. But what really pushed We Ski over the top and made it a childhood wonderland for me was its world. Okay, hear me out. The better word to use here would be atmosphere. And in this case, We Ski nails its intended atmosphere. Happy Ski Resort is exactly what its name implies, a joyful winter wonderland packed with a variety of well-designed slopes, interesting side missions, and hidden areas galore. It's just a single ski resort at the end of the day, but for a kid who seldom got to experience real-life slopes, Happy Ski Resort felt like a foreign world, filled to the brim with snowy secrets and jubilant fun. The courses are fantastic, each offering a unique experience that surprisingly matches up well with its animal namesake. For example, Deer Step is a narrow romp through a snowy forest, and Shark Skin is covered in a rough layer of ice. The experience is further enhanced by the other CPU skiers that can be found on the slopes. These NPCs are by far my favorite part about this game. You can catch them braving the hills or just mingling about and moding within their own little posses. Just having these guys around makes We Ski feel all the more authentic, like you're actually at a ski resort, and it helps that it can be hilarious at times too. Now this brings back childhood memories. The NPCs are the backbone of We Ski. Not only do they emote and speak in adorable gibberish and contribute greatly to the game's immersion, they also play a crucial part in the game's side missions. There's skill challenges, lost item recoveries, rescue missions, and a lot more extra stuff to do, and it's always a treat to see what the person waiting at the end has to say, thanks to the game's snappy, silly dialogue. My favorite side quest involves delivering a soda to a girl who's preparing to confess to someone. Then in the final food delivery mission, you end up delivering a wedding cake to the same girl and her now husband-to-be. This microscopic bit of continuity shows just how much care and love went into We Ski. From the immersive skiing experience to the charming NPCs to the soundtrack. Holy crap, I can finally talk about the soundtrack! While We Ski has several excellent pieces of original music, in particular the upbeat main menu theme, it also pulls tracks from other Namco Bandai franchises such as Tekken, Ridge Racer, and Katamari Damacy to round out its soundtrack. And every song fits like a glove. The outdoor speakers are constantly blaring banger after banger, each song fueling your desire for adrenaline, and again, making you feel like you're actually at a real ski resort. The outdoor speakers are also used to broadcast messages from time to time, further adding to the immersion when a lady comes onto the PA to ask someone to move their car. Every single thing about We Ski, from its controls to its atmosphere to its slope design to its music, it all comes together to create an authentic skiing experience that feels right at home on the Wii console. And then there's the little details such as the Easter eggs and the funny dialogue that push it over the top to make We Ski one of my favorite games on the Wii console. I legitimately believe that this is one of the Wii's best games. No cap, I will die on this hill. I love We Ski. It's just that I love the sequel more.
We ski and snowboard.
We Ski and Snowboard feels less like a sequel and more like an expansion pack for the original game, or a remix of a song that's 10 times better than the original song. By all accounts and purposes, that shouldn't technically be the case though. We Ski and Snowboard, as its title implies, introduces snowboarding into the mix, but it also features a completely new ski resort with brand new slopes and a second location at a dangerous snowy mountain. It also has new gear, new side missions, new secrets to find, more quality of life improvements, more UI improvements, and the ability to die. The game also maintains all the excellent aspects of its prequel, such as its banging soundtrack and whimsical charm, as well as bringing back key modes such as the robust schooling mode and competition mode. It also brings back the giant red political badge on the game's cover. Spellslinger, sir, who will you be supporting in the upcoming election? The Wii balance board. Simply put, We Ski and Snowboard keeps what made We Ski great while adding a whole lot more, and yet it still doesn't really feel like a true sequel to me personally. It feels more like what they originally wanted We Ski to be like, but just couldn't make it in time. Part of the reason for that feeling might be because the games look similar. So similar in fact that some of the footage I've shown you so far has actually been from We Ski and Snowboard, not We Ski. The map in the corner probably gave it away, but without that, would you be able to spot the difference between these two games? Another reason for that feeling might be because of when the game came out. Can you guess the amount of time that it took for We Ski and Snowboard to release after We Ski? I'll give you a moment to think. Got your answer? Good. The correct answer is under 300 days. We Ski and Snowboard, no matter the region, released less than 10 months after We Ski. In Japan, it came out in the same year. If you had gone Christmas shopping in 2008 Japan, you could have very well seen both We Ski and its sequel side by side on store shelves. Why even bother making a sequel less than a year later when the first game looks and plays nearly the same? At least the Lost Levels had remixed stages and souped up difficulty, at least Majora's Mask had nightmare fuel, at least WarioWare Twisted and WarioWare Touched, which came out within a month of each other, were released for different hardware and thus had completely different approaches to its gameplay. And it's Wario. Could you ever say no to Wario? I wouldn't. I say all this because it seems like the regular consumer didn't realize these games were that different, because We Ski and Snowboard underperformed sales wise. Sequels usually sell less than the original, but when your lifetime sales are half of what Big Beach Sports sold, you deserve some shame. So, after all of that, what do you think my thoughts on We Ski and Snowboard are? It's one of my favorite games of the week. We Ski and Snowboard may not have registered in the minds of most consumers as anything more than a definitive edition of We Ski, but man, that sucks because this game is awesome. Firstly, its world. Okay, hear me out again. While Happy Ski Resort in the original game provided a safe and fun ski resort experience, Jamboree Snow Resort in the sequel wants your head on a silver platter. It has completely different courses than Happy Ski Resort. Less of them, but they're all more creative and more dangerous than anything We Ski offered. Seriously, some of these slopes are wild. You can easily slip up and tumble down the whole course, while some CPUs join you as well. My favorite course at Jamboree Snow Resort is Kangaroo Park. I love how colorful it is thanks to all the box slides and ramps, and there's so many different ways to approach this course and so many opportunities to pull off some sick tricks. The courses aren't just more creative than the original game, they just feel overall cooler as well. And that's the whole story of We Ski and Snowboard. It's the cooler We Ski in every regard, probably because the act of snowboarding is inherently cool. Seriously, ask anyone, they'll probably agree. What are your thoughts on snowboarding? And because snowboarding is so cool, it emanates around the entire resort as well. The courses are more creative, the secrets are more interesting, the ranking system in the original game that would judge you every time you went down a specific course has been removed, further pushing you to just do whatever you want and play your way. Jamboree Snow Resort perfectly reflects the fact that We Ski and Snowboard is just We Ski but the definitive and better game. It not only adds so much more, but it also somehow manages to take the original game's excellent immersion and cranks it up even further. My favorite new feature in this game is how you can form your own party of custom created skiers. You can also recruit NPCs at the resort to join your party as well. Even if they're just CPUs at the end of the day, being able to share the slopes with someone else really makes We Ski and Snowboard feel all the more immersive, authentic, and it highlights why I love this game so much as a kid. My favorite location in the sequel didn't exist in the original game. It's the top floor of this yellow observation deck, which you have to take some time to traverse up. Once you do reach the top, there's a cute girl who is actually a secret achievement, and a cozy little spot where you can just look around and relax. It's these kind of spots that really make me appreciate We Ski and Snowboard. They remind me of times during my childhood where I'd experienced something so mundane yet so joyous that I knew I'd remember the moment forever. Even after years have gone by, I could go back to that same spot, reminisce about fond memories, and feel warm and nostalgic inside. There's very few places where I feel that way, but atop this yellow observation deck, looking out into the great white expanse beyond, in a goddamn 2008 Wii video game, I felt that nostalgia, and I savored every moment of it. So anyways, who wants to die? Jamboree Snow Resort is just one head of the two threat beasts that is We Ski and Snowboard. The game also provides a second, completely different location to explore, called Mount Angry, Mount Anger, Mount Angle, Mount Angrio. Anyways, remember when I said Jamboree Snow Resort was more dangerous than Happy Ski Resort? Well, those two places are both beginner level threats compared to the Avengers level menace that is Mount Angrio, which is why we'll need a squad that can overcome the mountain and all of its obstacles. Firstly, Beat from Jet Set Radio. Secondly, gender bent anime Spellslinger. We'll also be bringing back the old geezer from We Ski. Finally, we gotta have some intensity and fire to be able to brave the frigid cold of the mountain. So everyone, please welcome to the team, Bakugo's mom. Mount Angrio does not mess around. You have to fly by helicopter up the mountain, and when you get there often isn't anyone else around except you and your party. The mountain is treacherous, lined with dangerous fossils, icy tunnels, and deep, dark chasms you can fall into. The fact that you're placed back at the start of the course after you fall into one of these holes implies that you can straight up die trying to challenge Mount Angrio, which makes sense given that full-scale avalanches can occur. Mount Angrio is the untamed, wintry wild at its most dangerous, and I freaking love it. Jamboree provides a great, safe skiing and snowboarding resort experience, but Mount Angrio scratches that itch for people who want to show why extreme sports are awesome, without the risk of real-life injuries or death. I love every part of Mount Angrio, but my favorite section of the mountain is Serpent's Belly by far. It not only contains potential avalanches and the infamous chasm, but an exhilarating jump over a cliff that makes you feel like a badass, and also a giant hole you can fall into afterwards. Mount Angrio is just as well designed as the snow resort. There's tons of opportunities for you to show off your skills by controlling your speed, making tight turns, getting insane hang time, and more while battling the elements of the mountain. Mount Angrio is just as immersive as Jamboree as well, but it provides its own unique atmosphere that feels thrilling yet hauntingly empty and foreboding, a perfect representation of nature at its most baleful. I also have to give a shout out to this guide character. Not only do his tours help you experience the mountain in fun, bite-sized chunks, but he also shows more personality than most isekai protagonists. He's a thoughtful, guiding mentor, but he also expresses enthusiasm at the thrill of danger and isn't afraid to openly boast or reminisce about days past. He can also speak in Overall, We Ski and Snowboard selling less than 1 million copies is an absolute travesty. It is not only better than its prequel in every possible way, but it provides a genuine, whimsical winter experience that you can't really find replicated in any other game. Except for its prequel. Yeah, other snowboarding and skiing games exist, but only this series manages to straddle that fine line between realistic and casual simulation very well. We Ski and Snowboard didn't age all that well graphically, but it aged well because of its unique charm, which even to this day still makes me giddy with excitement when I play it. It is the perfect dose of nostalgia wrapped up in a cold winter package, and yet, all it makes me feel is warm and fuzzy inside. Yes, to both games actually. You can decide to just play We Ski only and have a lot of fun, or you can just decide to play only We Ski and Snowboard and also still have a lot of fun. But playing them both will allow you to appreciate what the original achieved and what the sequel managed to build upon. If you only have to pick one or the other, then obviously go for We Ski and Snowboard. Jamboree Snow Resort is better than Happy Ski Resort in most regards, and Mount Angrio is better than Sliced Bread. But the fact that I was able to play both games and still get something fun and fulfilling out of each of them is a testament to just how special the We Ski franchise is as a whole. I said it before and I'll say it again. These two games are among the Wii's finest, and I will defend that opinion to my grave, even if it's at the bottom of a snowy chasm in Mount Angrio. Special holiday delivery. What? Don't you know? It's International January 9th Day. Anyways, sign here so I can go home. Huh. Weird. But hey, free stuff. Alright, let's see what I got.